previously on Death of 7, I just want to give you a bit of a disclaimer, and that is that this is not going to be your traditional video that I upload to do Ubuntu 19.10, and then once 20.04 LTS comes around, I'll go ahead and upgrade myself to that patch on Patch Tuesday. This was one of the updates, and to all Windows and PCs. It's time for the final shutdown of Windows 7. And yeah, the bug is it's installed now. There's no turning back after I hit continue. So one last check to make sure everything is...
This is JR Tech and Software.
Alright, my phone just ran out of storage, so, yeah, if everything went well, you should be hearing my voice, test, and, and you are now hearing from my microphone. I'm just gonna check that just to make sure that it was, and we can pause and start the recording. There, I said there while it was after I paused it, I think. So let's go ahead and just finish recording. I'm gonna listen to it just to make sure that we've got audio coming through the mic and through the PC, Alright. Yep, it was a success. We do have this working just fine. And now I can just record via the screen recorder there. Okay, so next thing I'm gonna do is I am going to download my collection of bash scripts from my rep server here. So I will have to go on Firefox for just a second. I'm not gonna. But after that, I am going to delete Firefox and remove its config files and all that. So, non-HTML suite, and archives, bash scripts, and 5.0. I'm going to save that file. Now, this is one of my pet peeves. What do you think? I hit X. Yeah, I do want to close all tabs, that's why I hit the X button. Yeah, so now we'll install a program that I like, which is called GDebi, and that will just allow me to extract out all the files from that deb file package and install them. Whenever you, usually in Ubuntu, when you get a deb package, for those of you that don't know, a deb package is almost like an installer file, like an exe file. In Windows, that'll install the software for you. But like, you need a special program to do that, to know what to do with a deb package. Usually, by default, Ubuntu, it'll do it with the Ubuntu Software Center, but that hasn't always worked out for me. Anyway, so that's going. I'm gonna clean up some of the junk that's on this tab, that's on this little launcher thing. I call it the favorites. I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. I never use the Ubuntu Software Center. I don't need the help, and I don't need Amazon. And once we get the GNOME tweak tool on here, I believe you can like adjust this. I don't know if that's in the settings. Let's check here. There we go, dock right there. I'm just gonna make that a bit smaller, something like that. Like I said in the other clip here, when Canonical made this desktop, they tried to make it like their older desktop that they made, but stopped making, which was Unity. So now we have that installed, so we can see it into downloads. You remember, everything here that I'm doing in the terminal right now, you do not have to do in the terminal, alright? I want to make that perfectly clear. You can use the GUI interface of G.B here, but I like to do things from the terminal. So sudo G.B bash scripts, and then I'm using tab to do the autofill there. And I'm gonna hit yes. And so that's gonna download the dependencies, and once it's all done with that, it'll go ahead and actually install. There we go, there's one of the scripts I made because I include with the dev package, because I removed some of the packages, scripts from the dev package, and if they're no longer included in the dev package, then they must as well be removed from the system like I did there. But it also checks that they're on the system and before it removes like fake packages. And so now I made a custom script called update that I like to use for updating my machine. So yes, we have internet, and then we already updated the cache. There wouldn't have been much newer cache added to the system since then that we need to update. So I'm just gonna hit 3 to upgrade the system using the dist upgrade argument, and that is gonna go out and it's gonna install all my updates. And while it's doing that, I'm going to open up this, and I'm going to open up some from my home folder here. And first I'm going to do everything from what? Oh. Sure, let's send. And so, no, I didn't want that. Alright, so let's do that and go into that drive. And let's go into my thing. I don't know what to call it. My desktop folder from the internal hard drive, and I'm just gonna copy everything to the desktop folder. Now there are some things I have to change here. First, I gotta delete that because that is linking to something that is not found, and then I've got to mark all of these except for the ISO file there as being allowed to execute. So yeah, all these aren't really able to link to anything, so but we'll have to wait for that. So let's go into my bin and copy all of that over to my, let's just copy the bin folder because that isn't in the home directory, and let's also copy the audio and the dev creation folder. And then we can go into documents here, because everything in here I'm gonna copy over, except for the, why is that folder in there? I thought I told rsync to exclude that, but I told rsync to exclude anything that I didn't want in here. So I'm just gonna copy everything over, back over to here. Maybe. Apply the section to all other folders. And I guess it's in there. let's cancel another copy process. Because usually when it copies, it is, like in 1604, it's a big pop-up, but I guess now in 1910, it's just a little drop-down thing that you can easily hide away, which, is pretty good. So I'm gonna open up a new tab in this terminal. I'm gonna do update --log, so I can see all of the output of that update process there. Sometimes it's a good idea to do that because I didn't put in 2y's as the argument in this, and so if it's been updating for that, after that's been going on for a while, you might want to open up a new tab and run that command so that you can see if it's stuck on any input prompts or anything, and then enter them over in here. So and all you have to do is hit Control-C, and that'll stop ad from going. I just make this another time lapse here, so go ahead and enjoy this. Alright, that is done. So the documents is done, so now I think I'm just gonna do a time lapse of everything else. I don't know why I copied back over the downloads, but whatever. Let's just get that all there, yes. They got new sounds here. So yeah, let's just do the time lapse then. Actually, we copy it over in terms of folders, and in terms of just random other icons that are on the desktop. I'm gonna also kind of nitpick. I don't need that. Looks like that is it for that. We've got that, got everything backed up, so now I am going to go ahead and stop the recording and reboot, and then we'll come back after reboot. Okay guys, I'm rebooting right now, and this is actually like the 6th reboot. I'm in a bit of a situation. I can't record for that long because I still haven't fixed my iPhone storage issue, but it's not booting. It keeps on getting hung on here. This time I tried booting with an older kernel. This might not work for me right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to boot into another USB that I happen to have with an install of Arch on it that I just installed sometime this spring that I haven't used in a while. But then burn Ubuntu 18.04 to the USB and install using 18.04. Why 18.04 without the hardware enablement stack? Because I know that the 4.15 kernel works, and Ubuntu 18.04 uses the 4.15 kernel. But here's what's weird about this. If I hit it once, it actually just goes into sleep mode while it's booting, which is weird. so something has to be wrong, and so I'm gonna hop into Arch here on my USB sticks, and I am going to install Ubuntu 18.04. So see ya on Arch Linux. Alright, so we have another change of plans. The Arch install that I had on a USB stick wasn't booting into a workable desktop that I could use. So I'm back on 18.04, and I have been in a bit of a mess to try to get some that I can actually record this video on, because my phone is out of space. And in order to clear that up, I'm backing that up to a USB drive, but that USB drive is running out of space, so I have to get everything from the USB drive onto my server, which is what I usually do when this USB drive gets full. And so I've gotta take time to try and get that sorted out. And so, yeah, so we're gonna have to use a different installation media, because the installation media that I'm using right now, is right now being used for the operating system to be booted and for us to use it. Yeah, today has been a bit of a wild ride. So let's go to www.ubuntu.com and go into download, and this time 18.04 LTS. Before I did it 19.10, now I'm doing it to 18.04. Let's get out another USB. I'm probably gonna have to wipe that Arch install. That's probably what I'm gonna end up doing. I'm trying to get another drive here to be able to receive new data, but me trying to wipe it end up like not me. It's been a tough 15 minutes here. Let's see what is going on. Oh my, what's the train? Cause now I've got, where's G-parted? Did G-parted just quit? I don't know what's going on here. Alright, G-parted. Figure us out. Okay, so here we go. So /SBD is my drive that is I'm trying to work out here. I'm having problems with trying to format this. Let's just create a new partition table and just start from scratch. I just need enough space to store. Let's save. No, and I want to do the Ubuntu 18.04 without hardware enablement. Old Linux ISO. Alright, there's Ubuntu, Ubuntu, Ubuntu. There's some Linux mints. Finally. Alright, how much? This is 1.8. I want to make sure that there'll be enough room for some screen record to record. You know what, to save space, I'm just gonna pause the video, guys, and I'll come back once the download's done. So I've got a bit of an update for you. The other hard drive, the other USB is working now. All I have to do is mount it. It should be just unplugging it and plugging it back in. And there we go. So now I can start recording to there instead of to just the home partition of this live CD, which will anything in there is gonna get deleted on a reboot anyway. So I'm gonna stop the recording so I can start recording into this. It's a small USB drive, but it'll be something at least. Alright, there is no video here. Kitten Live didn't want to load in this specific clip. It didn't have anything important on it. All it was I downloaded Etcher. Alright. Wait a minute. Did that actually worked? Okay. So the recorder stopped because when I was inserting that USB drive, I accidentally touched the USB drive that was being written to, and that kind of got it not as connected to the machine as it could have been. So I'm gonna do that. That is my USB drive, and I'm gonna clean up the screen a bit and minimize that. We don't need you right now. We don't need you at all. And now we just have to wait for another half hour for that ISO file to be downloaded. So I'm just gonna do this in a form of a time lapse. I'm gonna just scan, clear any junk. I don't need the settings window open anymore. Of course, the screen recorder over there. So yeah, enjoy this time lapse. And we are nearing the halfway point here. Yeah, internet is slow today. Oh, as I talk, it's starting to you can see the speed. Oh no, I got my hopes up. As it starts to talk, it starts to rise. No, it's just a low spike. And anyways, yeah, let's continue the time lapse. About 3/4 of the way through now. I'm hoping that lock screen there didn't make some screen recorders stop, but it's still not. Alright, so yeah, I'll be back. And we are on to the final countdown here. 10 seconds left right now. Is what it's predicting. So I'm going to wait for this to end. Only a few seconds. And it's done. And now we are going to go up to some screen recorder. Where is that shirt? There we go. And we got the right disk selected, so I'm going to go ahead and select in downloads the ISO, and I'm going to hit flash, and then there comes another time lapse of it flashing and processing and ejecting the flash drive. This should not take as long. We are not downloading from the slow internet, so I'm gonna get rid of Firefox here. And yeah, so enjoy this next time lapse. And we're done. Alright, so now I'm just gonna go ahead and get my last thing off of the one that I recorded in 1910. I'm gonna get that off of the hard drive here. If I can get to the hard drive. So yeah, and then I'll reboot and I'll install Ubuntu 18.04. So yeah, see you on my phone, I guess, next. Alright, so here we are on 18.04. I'm not gonna try it, I'm just gonna go into the install wizard and English US, that is me, and I'm going to go ahead and connect to the internet here, and we are connected, and we're going to do a normal installation. We're not going to download updates, but we will install third-party software and drivers. And now we will, this is actually, you will notice that this looks a little different. This is the old ambience theme from Ubuntu. In Ubuntu 18.10, they, I'm going to erase 19.10 and I'm just going to erase the disk and install Ubuntu. But they created a new theme in 18.10, and I forgot to disconnect this here again back to this setup with that recording my audio, because it has better audio. This microphone has better audio, so, and yeah, so that's fine. And we will install now, and we will continue. And this time I'm not gonna do a time lapse, guys. Because you guys already saw the installation from here and onto and onto 19.10. This didn't really change that much, so alright, and it is installing, guys, so I'm gonna kind of cut at the spot here, or at least I'm going to try, because I don't want to have to resync the audio again. Alright, so it again was pretty fast. I was only gone for about 10 minutes there, but the installation is complete, so hopefully we have better luck this time. Okay, that's a bit. Alright, there we go. So I'm gonna remove the USB stick and then press enter so that we can reboot the machine into 18.04. If we should be on kernel 4.15 when we come in here. So yeah, let's just wait for it to load. Got no hard drive activity. Let's try this again. I'm okay if that occasionally happens, but last time I couldn't, like, after 5 tries to reboot it wouldn't. It, like, hung up at some point. So I'm gonna boot to Ubuntu. Alright, I'm in the hard drive. This is sounding a lot better. And we actually got to this point this time. So I'm gonna go ahead and once we get on here, I'm gonna do the whole setup thing and copying back my backup files. Alright, we've got a mouse. Sorry for my camera. Alright, there we go. Alright, and I will type in my password here, and we'll come into GNOME. Alright, but the first thing I'm gonna do before I back up anything and waste my time doing that is I am going to update, well, after I get my bash scripts collection in here. So, and also let's install Kazam. So, sorry, you guys can't really see anything here. Alright, so I'm gonna try again and get Kazam installed here, and then I will go over to the screen here. So I'm gonna stop the recording here. So yeah, on the desktop. Alright, so I am now recording with Kazam, and you are now on my screen. Hopefully you guys can hear and see what I am doing here. Alright, so yes, it works. I just need to make sure that happens. So I have not closed out anything, so I'm going to do the exact same thing in here. I'm not going to set up live patch, but I will send the information to Canonical, and I'm going to hit done, and then let us go to server. Let's install GW. And let that go and do its thing, and then I'm gonna come in here and download the deb file. And that was fast, and GW is still installing. I will update it after I get my bash script file set up here. One thing that's like a plus with 1804, once you name -r, you can see here we're still on the 4.15 kernel, is that if you put your window up by these, they will be this nice ambient thing, but if you pull it away, it'll be translucent, which is nice. And now we'll go into downloads and sudo gw bash scripts. Yes. And now let's let that install. And now we'll update. Turn that shut, because I don't want to deal with that right now. And we'll update the cache. And now we'll do 3 to upgrade the system with the just upgrade command. I have to remember to turn off the lock screen, but we have a little pop-up here. There was start service steering package upgrades without asking. I'm gonna say no, because I don't want to screw up the recording. So this release of OpenSSL fixes some security issues. Services will not use these fixes until they are restarted. Okay, I guess. And alright, but still got a good amount further than it was when I left it. Just didn't go for as much, so I'm going to turn off the ability for it to lock on me. It is doing some things with Grub here, and we are done. So F11, by the way, makes applications full screen and not full screen. Alright, so we will back that up, and yes, and 7. Nope, that's not gonna work after we back it up and delete it from here. Alright, so now let's shut down, so I'll restart and I'll come back to you with any problems. Hopefully, last time at this point we had to install 1604 because it stopped being able to boot, but hopefully that's not the case anymore, so I'm gonna stop the recording and I'll come back to you in a little bit with an update. Okay, here I am again. I made a major oopsie. The Kazam stopped recording my audio from this point on. It wouldn't record my audio from my microphone. It was totally set to the wrong thing, and I didn't notice until I started editing this video. It's terrible, I tell you. Okay, so here I forgot to, as you can see from the, recording here, I forgot to, set my resolution before, I started recording, and so I had to do that really quick. And so I did that, and then I stopped recording, then I started recording again so that you guys can experience the full resolution. I guess right now I'm just gonna have to narrate over this. I know it's really bad, but I still want you guys to see how I did this, but I also don't want it to be in complete silence. So I'm gonna be watching it through all this footage and narrating it for you. So right now I am installing Timeshift because I didn't want what happened earlier to happen again. And so Timeshift is pretty much like, if you are familiar with Windows, you probably know of System Restore. That Timeshift is System Restore, but for Linux you take certain snapshot points and then you open them and then you can restore to those restore points, those snapshot points. And so I know that it's installed by default in Linux Mint nowadays, so I didn't know how to install it in Ubuntu. You guys might not be seeing what I'm seeing. This audio and what I'm seeing is gonna be kind of out of sync, but I made a script a while back that I still use, and it's really cool. It's a real cool application called install, and pretty much shortens the install script. Alright, so, and pretty much I made like a shortcut in there to install a PPA through the add apt repository command. And okay, you need to have a bin folder in the home directory for this whole script to even work. But so it adds the repository, in this case it's the Timeshift PPA, and then it will update cache, which is what you always have to do after a PPA is installed. Then you have to, then it installs the package from the PPA. And yeah, I just wanted to confirm we are running the 4.15 kernel. Once again, what I'm saying is kind of detached from what the video is that you're seeing. Is like I had to start Audacity recording and VLC recording like individually. So yeah, but here I'm gonna make my first snapshot. So this is like the whole, whenever you start up Timeshift, this, like, you have to tell it certain things, like how many snapshots you want to keep and where you're going to store them. So I'm going to store this on my hard drive, not on my internal hard drive, not my external hard drive, where my backups are stored. And I'm going to keep 2 dailies, and I'm going to keep 2 weeklies, no, 3 weeklies it looks like, and then 2 boot up ones. And then I'm gonna hit finish, and I'm gonna create my first snapshot, my first time shift snapshot. And I don't remember whether this is gonna be in time lapse or not. But yeah, just taking the snapshot, and I think this is gonna be a time lapse. Alright, and now I'm gonna do like a time lapse of me restoring all my backed up files back over to the drive, so enjoy this next time lapse. Gonna do my very first backup of the system, but I did have some problems with trying to get that working. It took me a long time to realize that the problem was because I renamed my username to something that wasn't before, and that affects the path of the drives. Like, it's in the drives that you plug in, the USB sticks that you plug in are always in /media/ your username / and the name of the label of the file system. And because I changed my username, that didn't work anymore. And so it took me forever to figure out that it was because I didn't change my username in the past. So yeah, that was causing this whole thing to go wrong. There's so many things. There have been so many things that's gone wrong in this project. And they're still going on because, like I said, Kazam just randomly decided to change the microphone input to something totally wrong. And it doesn't make any sense. So I think I figured it out here. Yes, I did figure out that it was my username. Yeah, I wish you guys could have heard the audio directly from like this, but it was either do this or, oh yeah, and I forgot that the hotkey for Control R doesn't work on Kazam multiple times. But like, yeah, so many things have gone wrong. So now I'm starting to install my packages. I don't use Firefox. All my stuff is synced up with Chrome. So right now I'm purging Firefox, and here in a second I'm gonna delete all the config files for it, so I don't have any of that on my machine. And then I am going to install Chrome along with a lot of different other packages here. So now I'm just cleaning up all of like any other files that were like Firefox depended on, so that we didn't have other things in the system. So now I'm gonna install Chromium. Now something that you'll see in here is that now I'm removing the config files, but like I couldn't remember what all the packages were that I installed, and so even though I might be like compiling a big list in this command, which you will see, you'll see like big pauses between them, and in video editing I might actually cut some of these out, but like, I couldn't remember all the files, all the packages that I wanted. And so, like, multiple times throughout the video, you'll see, me. And so, yeah, I've got Chromium. I'm gonna get Chromium, Synaptic, HTOP. HTOP is like a little, system monitor program. Screen Fetch, which is every time I open up my terminal, that is the thing that opens. You saw that, when I was installing, when I had 1604. SSHFS to, like, help with, like, interfacing with my server. We're gonna get all of the VirtualBox packages, FileZilla, so that I can move files to my server. So yeah, we'll have VirtualBox Qt, which is the actual VirtualBox application itself. We'll have VirtualBox Guest Editions ISO, so that we can install guest editions. And we're gonna have the extension pack, so that we can use things like USB 2 and USB 3. And then I'm gonna get the Apache 2 web server, because sometimes when I'm in web development, I like to have it as if it was running on a web server. I'm gonna get LightDM, that's a login manager, and right here I'm trying to get the Slick Reader, which is what the login looks like in Ubuntu 16.04. I couldn't remember the exact package name, so yeah, I'm right now, once again, I'm trying to think of more things. I'm gonna get Audacity, and I'm gonna get Handbrake so that I can convert video formats when I need it. I was gonna get like a hex code editor, but I couldn't remember the name of the one that I had on 1604, so I just backspaced that all out. Now I'm gonna get the GCC and G++, GNU compiler collection suite. I'm gonna get Make to help with more things with development here. I'm gonna rotate the Make so like you guys don't hear as much of that. And now I'm thinking a bit more. I'm gonna get GIMP for image manipulation, because that's what I use for all my thumbnails, and I realized while I was editing that I didn't actually get Inkscape, which is one of the things that I talked about while I was still on 1604. So I forgot to get that. I actually did that while I was editing, because I'm like, I need to do that. But yeah, now I'm actually gonna install all of that, and this is gonna I'm gonna install more things, more like later, because I kept on forgetting, and I think it might have been at this point where I was like, oh yeah, I just thought of another one, and I'm gonna do that a lot more. My initial backup is still going over there, so yeah, I think I might have intended for this to be a time lapse. Yeah, so let's just have a time lapse here.